Got some Spyderco knives. I guess you could say I'm a fan. Got four models here. This one is actually the Byrd Robin 2, which is the kind of cheap entry level, lower kind of economy class of Spyderco. But it has the same steel as a couple of the other ones, and you can pick these things up for $17. They have a 2.5-inch blade. They weigh 2.2 ounces, and it's 8CR13 MOV steel. This is a great little knife to carry in your pocket. It's almost so small you forget you have it. It's a lockback. Big fan of lockbacks. I like them much better than the liner locks. I actually bought this as a first knife for my son, and when he decided to get something a little bit bigger, I actually bought this back off of him because I liked it so much. It's got the textured handles that they're very grippy when you're pulling it out of your pocket. And I like the way they set this knife up. It's a little stiff, but in all honesty, it's kind of neat the way they can make it fit all four fingers for being so tiny, because they give you this extra space here to put your first finger if you need to. I mean, just the handle itself, you're only going to get 3. But because of the way there's even a little bit of jimping there, as you can see, you can get your whole hand on it either way if you need to. So I really like the way that they thought that out. And obviously most Spydercos, you can put the clip wherever you want, all four corners. 8CR13 MOV. Now this knife that steel is easy to sharpen, but it will lose its edge quicker than other steels. But for most carrying around uses, unless you're really heavily using your knife, say at work or something, it's a good steel. And especially if you're getting into learning how to sharpen knives, this is a good steel to work with, the 8CR13 MOV. Because of its softness, and when you can get it super shaving soft very easily. So we got that one. Next we got the Stretch, and this is a knife that I carry work all the time, and it's good and it's bad. The VG10 that this blade has is a great steel, and they, I guess, use it a lot in kitchen cutlery. It holds an edge really good. It's a pain in the ass to sharpen. But I use this knife at work because I can cut cardboard with this and it's not going to dull right away like the 8CR13 MOV. Couple dislikes of this knife. It's just ugly. I think it looks like some kind of flying bird or something. It's an ugly knife. And funny story I'll tell you is I put a notch here so that when it's in your pocket, this will catch on your jeans, and it's kind of like a self-opening knife as you pull it out. It doesn't come that way. I had to cut it in there with a grinder, and when I cut it in there, I didn't wear my glasses because I was an idiot. I'm a welder. I figured just gonna be real quick. Well, a piece of it got in my eye, and I've had metal in my eye so many times. I usually just let it rust in there, and it just, the salt in your eye, it's annoying for a little while, but it'll work its way out, turn into nothing. Well, this bothered me. I did this on like a Thursday. By Sunday, well, I was hurting. My eye was hurting. So Monday, I got to the eye doctor, and they dye your eye, and they look in there with their machine, and he made a comment. He's like, well, he said it looks like a piece of steel, but it's hard to tell because it's not rusted. Usually when steel goes in your eye, it rusts very, very quickly. And I said, well, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you what was in there. But that's how good VG10 stands up to, not rusting out. It was in my eye for 4 days, and it amazed the optometrist or ophthalmologist or whoever he was. But anyway, yeah, this is my daily carry knife. Lock back, like the lock backs. I think their lockup's a lot more solid. Same thing. I like all the way the Spyderco knives with the spider hole. I dig that design. They're just so easy to open, and you don't need any of that flipper crap or any of that stuff. They're super easy to open. And because they have the spider hole, you get a good ramp for purchase on, because there's usually a belly up on top for them to put a little more material so that they can put a hole there. And I like that. I think it's a good design. And this one also has more jimping on the bottom here as well. Not that I ever use it, because you can get your whole hand on this knife just as it is. This knife feels really good in your hand, especially the way they cut the sides out. And it's super light. It's 3.7 ounces. Now these ones are a little bit more pricey. This knife was $97. And you're paying for the steel. But that's my work knife. This one is my favorite. I wish I had this in a different steel. This is the Tenacious. And the Tenacious you could pick up cheap. They're like 45 bucks. 3.37 inch blade, 4 ounces. You can feel it's a little bit creeping up on weight. Also 8CR13 MOV steel. And I like this knife because it's smooth. It's a beautiful knife. It feels good in your hand. The only things I don't like about it is it's a liner lock. But the Spyderco liner locks, they're pretty decent. But and the blade steel, I wish it was S30V, VG10, 154, something else. I just wish they would make this knife. And they might even make this with a better steel. I don't know. But this is the one I usually have in my pocket when I'm not at work. I take this thing everywhere. Beautiful knife. And then this one I just got. My son just picked this one up for me for Christmas. And this is the Resilience, which is the big brother to the Tenacious. And it's a beast. But it's cheap. 50 bucks. 4.25 blade, 5.4 ounces, also 8CR13 MOV. This thing is just a monster when you open this up. It's just huge. And I'll show you them all together just so you can get a reference. But there they sit. So, I mean, even though this is so big, it's not that much heavier. I mean, you're looking at 5.4 ounces compared to the 4 Tenacious. For what its length is, it's not that heavy. And it's in your pocket, but it's not like pulling your pants down kind of heavy. And like all the other Spydercos, I think most of the Spydercos are set up like this. You could put the clip however you want it in any corner. And they got a pretty decent clip on them now. The only one I ever had a problem with was the Stretch. And I broke this clip. I caught it on the side of a door as I was walking through. But after a little bit of complaining, they sent me another clip for free. So kudos to Spyderco for that. Very happy, because without a clip, a knife to me is almost worthless, because I'm not just going to put it in my pocket and have that like that all day. So that's my collection. I'm not a fanboy of only Spydercos. It just seems that I've, maybe because of the price and I think the value you get, I've have collected quite a few of these. And I haven't had any issues with any of them. I think they're a decent company, and I would definitely buy more. I'd like to have some more of their higher end ones. The Paramilitary is a really good knife. Gosh, they've got so many knives Spyderco does, it's ridiculous. And I probably will add to this collection, but I figured I'd just put this up if anybody was looking at, size, value knives for everyday carry. I mean, especially if you're like shopping at Dick's or something, or you're not really going to find a good knife there. You might find a knife, but the steel's going to be crap. You might get AUS 8, which I'm not a fan of, or even worse, 6, or something else that's, sometimes they won't even put the blade steel that they're using in these cheaper knives. At least with this, it's a halfway decent steel that you're getting, and it will last you a very long time. So anyway, that's my collection so far as to date of just the Spydercos.